it's like out.
All right.
Look at that. Here we are. Is the audio
That's
good?
us.
Can you hear us? All good?
Good.
All right. How's it going, everyone? I'm Corey, and we are here with Moogle, Spawny, and Blue.
Hey.
I knew
Hey,
the
guys.
names.
What's up?
Yeah.
That's step one complete.
Yeah.
So, if you guys missed it, or if you saw it, earlier today, these guys did an absolutely nuts run of A Link to the Past. It was A Link to the Past One Mind, where the inputs switched every 1 second. Is that right? Control of Link switched every second.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely crazy.
It was very
Yes, it
difficult.
was.
It was very difficult.
Yes.
Just to put it in perspective, like the first time I really speed ran the game and knew the whole route, I got about a 2:12. That's what we got today. And, both of our times are like 40 minutes faster than that or more. So, like,
Yep.
it's just that much harder. And we really had a lot of trouble in Skull Woods. I think Mothula was one of the hardest screens in the game. There's 500 plus screens. I think Torches, the Torch Room in Ganon's Tower, that's known as Torches 1, super difficult. Like, those are kind of my top two.
Tight
that were just,
timing,
like,
lots of inputs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do it with two
Yeah.
people, like
Yeah.
switching on and off. It's
Communicating and
Exactly, and it is more than just like it's not just some regular co-op run. Like, you really need to have one mind. You really need to be on the same page with what strats you're going to use, what routes you're going to take, menuing.
That's
all
the
that
interesting
stuff.
thing to me as speedrunners is there's subtle variations in everybody's route, and you have time to get together before the run and coordinate things and plan which version of Ice Palace Bomb Jump am I going to do,
Yeah.
which version of this or that are we going to do, and a lot of stuff you didn't have time to plan for, and you have to make a decision on the fly.
too many things.
A lot
Yeah.
of times something will go wrong, and there's no time to discuss a backup, and chaos ensues.
Gotcha,
And that's the great thing about
right.
One Mind.
So what's you were on a team with that jabroni named Moosies.
Moosies.
Moosies. Your
Moosies.
team name was Moosies. So just to elaborate on that a little bit, like, say, you guys are all, you're well versed in speedrunning this game, and I know
Correct,
Moosies
yeah.
has as well, but probably not to your guys' level.
Yeah.
So in a situation where your partner makes a mistake or goofs up, what's sort of the approach? Do you just need to be like, all right, let me tell you how to do this, or do you need to, come up with something else on the fly?
I try to give as much warning before going into a room and try to give them advice like, you're going to do this movement, we're going to do this menu, and this is how it's going to go. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes something completely different happens and it still works out, which happened a couple times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do each of these rooms. I mean, some of them are just straightforward, like hold diagonal and that's it. But there's a lot of rooms where it's like there's different strats, there's different ways of doing it. And, even though we're pretty close in our PB times, we do very different stuff. And I think something that actually gave Moogle an advantage is not only does he run it at a much higher level than us, but he made the noob splice, which is like how to get a sub 130 with, very simple, easy strats. You've done a lot of different strats and know those, so it was probably a little bit easier for you to adapt to.
A lot of the training that I do is focused towards teaching newer players how to get through the game with as little difficulty as possible, doing low difficulty strats that give you good results. So I aim for, when I'm paired with somebody at a lower skill level, I try to just do movement that's simple and easy, so we lower our risk of failure as much as possible.
It's just amazing
Sounds
you
like-
can teach on the fly like that, because you're a great teacher, obviously. He also was part of FMG, so they made just a full tutorial, segment by segment. It's on YouTube for
Segment by segment,
more advanced players.
we basically
but
covered every single input in the game, what to do start to finish for advanced
That's
players.
cool. That's really cool.
If you're looking to learn it, it's a great
Yeah.
resource. I would start with the beginner tutorial and get to under sub 150 or something, and then maybe start to take a look at that. And if you want to take it deeper than that and you're interested, it's a really great resource. That's how I got to that sub 130 level. Is like a lot of that was FMG. It was people that made FMG helping me, like Moogle, like Fricker, who does the voiceover for it, like doing a run review for me, because there's just so much going on, or that could go on in every single screen.
Yeah, that's
I'd
awesome.
like to
Sounds
ask
like
for
resources.
Spawny's take on when we first got paired up and started doing One Mind together. She was about Masi's skill level, and I'd like to have your take on what was it like being the less experienced player in a One Mind. How did that go for you?
Oh, okay. So first of all, we would normally we did a couple 1-mines. I mean, like less than 10,
Mhm.
full game, right? We would always get a time that was better than my PB, which shocked me because I'm like, how am I gonna play as good as my PB during this crazy 1-mine? But because his time was like 15 minutes faster than mine, give or take, for any of the actual 1-mines, he was able to like incorporate strats that were like a little bit above my pay grade, so to say, and kind of teach me them on the fly. Like, I don't know how we were able to always pull it off, but like I said, you're a good teacher on the fly, and you do control half of the game. So it's almost like sometimes it feels like you're being like dragged if you don't know like the strats, and it's like, okay, we can figure it out, but like
at the same time you're
insane.
being pulled through the correct
Like, no,
ways
no,
to
no,
do
go
it.
this way.
Yeah.
You're learning on the fly. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you guys have been watching the whole time, but I want to direct your attention up here. We have a live ranking that's going on. The way it works is that if someone donates $20, they can choose one game on this list and move it either up or down one spot.
Okay.
And you guys each get to do that once as well. So I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
If you want to take a look at the list and just see what you think is the most egregiously placed, do you think it needs to go higher or needs to go lower? What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
I think to me the standout is I feel like Link's Awakening is too low. That's a top 10 game. Even though it's going to bop A Link to the Past, which I love. Link's Awakening is
Wow.
really great.
All right, so that's Link's Awakening up 1, and that's going to move A Link to the Past down to 11. Do we have any live editing going on? Okay. All right, so while they're working on that, swapping A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, what about you, Spawny?
I'm gonna say the biggest outlier for me is Oracle of Seasons. I think that should move up 1, even
Okay.
though switching seasons and ages isn't making
Yeah,
that big
it's
of a
fine, yeah,
You
difference.
think
But
Seasons is better than Ages? You prefer Seasons?
I've never finished Ages, but I adore Seasons, and I hope one day that Zelda remakes it.
Yeah,
That would be epic.
that would be really cool. All right, so we're flipping A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, and we're also flipping Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Does Skyward Sword seem like a big standout to you guys?
I just realized that,
That
and
was
I was
what I
wondering if I
did.
could change my answer.
It was you can change it because they haven't done it yet.
Skyward Sword seems
It's
really
far too
high
high.
for me, actually.
It's far too
yeah.
high.
Like, yeah. Okay, they just
That
moved
was-
Skyward Sword
Okay,
down
okay,
2,
okay.
so we're good now, right?
That must have been from
okay,
donations.
so they got some
Okay.
donations.
Yeah,
That's actually
okay.
what I did when I had my turn. Skyward Sword was at number
It
1, and I
is
said
very
absolutely not. Put it back down
Yeah.
to 2.
Maybe it's part of the hype.
Do you guys?
Of the-
Yeah, it's recency bias.
yeah,
with the
that's-
HD.
I'm actually gonna go and move A Link Between Worlds down.
Oof. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, Wind Waker goes up. That's fine by me.
Mhm.
Yeah, was that meant to move Wind Waker up or A Link Between the Worlds down? Like, what was your intentions there?
It's a little
Which
of both.
little of both? Okay.
Okay.
I'll take
so
it.
Now that Skyward Sword got bumped down, it looks like all of your picks have been added to this list.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wind Waker is back above Link Between Worlds. Link's Awakening is above Link to the Past. And
Yeah.
Seasons is above Ages.
Well, the great thing is there's so many great Zelda games, so it's like
Yeah.
not too many things feel like egregiously placed here,
Yeah.
really.
Speaking
Maybe
on that,
bump Cadence up a little bit.
I know.
Speaking
I
of
was
that,
looking.
I
I'm like,
wanna-
why is Cadence down there?
I want to
mean,
direct your
it's-
attention to the very bottom. Do you feel like these are the worst of the worst on this list?
Some of these
You
are
think
ones
they
I don't
belong
know
there?
as much. You know,
Okay.
I don't know Age of Calamity.
I mean,
It could be a very good game. It's just one that's like not my genre,
Yeah.
I think, and so I haven't like.
gone
too
it's
deep
technically
into
a
it.
spin-off, so
Yeah,
in my mind it should be at the bottom starting out anyways.
yeah,
you know?
and Four
Same with Hyrule
Swords.
Warriors.
I'd love to play that, but
You need to
know,
get 3
yeah,
other
and
nerds. Like,
have them physically in the same spot with the hardware.
yeah,
If only there was some kind of gathering of Zelda
Zelda
fanatics
nerds. Yeah.
with tons of hardware in the same location.
Yeah, if only we could get that to happen at
Huh.
some point.
Maybe
That'd
we
be
can
a real
dream.
shame.
We can dream.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors. I played that for a very short amount of time
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. That was like the hack and slash one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I was
It's a
I was
Dynasty
so
Warriors
confused.
game reskinned as Legend of Zelda.
It wasn't my copy. I was going into it just like, okay, this is some Zelda game that I hear isn't that great. Had no idea the genre.
What it was,
And I'm like,
yeah.
a few minutes and I'm like, is this really?
This isn't a Zelda game.
Did this is really a Zelda title? Yeah, no, that definitely deserves 22. I'm glad it's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, great. Well, before we sign off, is there anything else you guys want to say? Anything you want to plug? Anything like that?
So if you like speedrunning, if you've seen it, if you think, oh, I can't do that, like, you can do that. Like, games like A Link to the Past have shorter categories, like Master Sword. There are Discords that you can join and ask questions. There are resources on YouTube and, like, wikis and all this stuff that all these people have worked on to make it easier to get into, and it's easier to get into now, some of these, than it ever was. So if you're just like, that trick looks cool, and you just want to, like, slowly go through it, even and not get an amazing time, you could definitely beat, you know, a game like Link to the Past in under 3 hours or something like that. And hopefully we played it bad enough today to show you how possible that is.
It's a fun hobby, and there's an overabundance of resources and friendly, dedicated people.
Yeah, great community, and there's a decent amount of new players coming in all the time, so you won't be alone.
Awesome.
If you choose.
Yeah, and it's pretty affordable to just play the same game over and over and over and over and
that's
over
true.
and over until you're dead. So,
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you, guys.
I guess.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
for having us.
We're gonna sign off. I don't know what's up next, but look forward to it because it's gonna be fun, whatever it is.
Yeah.
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 Let's see that thing.
That thing.